And just like that, we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tony versus the World. I'm your humble and gracious host, Tony, and we're going to do something different today. We're going to visit a blast from the past. One of the places I absolutely love to go to was Hong Kong in 2019, and I didn't get a chance to show you guys what fun I really had while I was there. So we're going to revisit that, and I'm going to tell you some things I didn't get to tell you while I was there. Let's go.
No, Tony versus the world!
So what we're going to do is I'm going to watch the video with you while you guys watch the same video and tell you some things I didn't get to tell you in the video. So let's get started. First of all, I hate this intro now. I don't know why, but I just do. Even watching this now, like I remember taking this in the airport as I was getting ready to get onto the plane, and there was just so many people there, and I was actually scared to go because the flight was going to be like 15 hours or something crazy like that. And this is me just not paying attention, acting crazy. I was just trying to get in the mood of getting ready to be on this plane forever and a day. All right, so let's skip ahead to we actually getting into Hong Kong. Okay, so I remember when I first arrived, man, I can't tell you how tired and jet lagged I was. It was insane. And I remember getting off the plane, it was just like, finally. I still love that bag. You guys know I love that bag, and I carry that everywhere. And right now, today, at this point, it's like, it's getting overwhelming. I'm gonna have to like take everything off and redo it sooner or later. Okay, so I remember this too when I first got there. There really wasn't any lines or anything we had to do. We really just got off the plane and started walking towards like the taxi stands to figure out where we're gonna go. We didn't have to go like through any customs or any check my baggage line or anything, which was kind of cool. Okay, so I took a taxi from the airport all the way to my Airbnb. You guys know I like doing Airbnbs and the nice fancy places and that type of thing, right? So we get there, and as soon as we pull up, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't it, is it? The outside facade was just a building, and it looked like a warehouse with just like a gate as a front door. And, you know, I remember my instructions when I got from the Airbnb, it was a code to get in the gate. So we get in the gate, and as I open up the door, again, this looks like an abandoned warehouse, and there's nobody there. There's literally nobody there. The lights are off, everything. So I remember walking up these steps to this place, and, you know, there's signs when you go up that say the room that you need to go to is upstairs. So we walk upstairs, and I finally open the door, and it was like an apartment inside of an abandoned warehouse. It was super, super weird and super, super dreary in there. But once you get inside the apartment, it was like, okay, this kind of looked kind of nice. It was just in a really, really weird area in a really weird building. But the area where it was, like when you come outside, you were right in the middle of everything, which was super convenient. If you guys want to go to this Airbnb, I'll figure out a link that I can put in the description so you guys can visit this same one. But again, you need to be aware that this looks like a warehouse. It doesn't look pretty on the outside, but it's all right on the inside. It's pretty nice. All right, my part 2 in this series is the next day when I actually got there, and you know, I really just wanted to get outside and start walking around, exploring places. No real place in mind to go, really just wanted to walk around. So what I found out later is that this section of the city is called the Kowloon section of the city of Hong Kong. And apparently, like I said before, that this Airbnb was in a great place. So this is a central location. This is where everybody is. We didn't have to worry about places to eat, things to see, shopping. Everything was literally right there. So when I walked out the apartment, I literally was just getting lost, wanting to see everything. And I got what I was looking for. All right, I don't remember exactly where this was, but this was like a big outdoor market shopping area. And if I find out where it is, I'm going to put it on the screen here. If I don't, I apologize, guys, but this was a big giant shopping area, outdoor shopping area. I found a place to eat, and they had something on the menu that I just never had before. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just try it? It was spicy frog. And I don't really like spicy food. I'm not that kind of guy. Like, it tears up my stomach. I can't do spicy anything. So I just ordered it anyway. I don't care. You know, I'm in a different place. Let me do it as they do. And I ate the spicy frog. And when I say it was super spicy, I was sweating. I was sweating for days. Whatever they had in there, it was too hot for me. Okay, so this was the same day after I had that spicy frog, and I was just outside walking around. And this is the point when I started to figure out what was actually going on in Hong Kong. So if you guys remember, a couple of years ago, there was this big giant protest in Hong Kong, and there was a lot of violence. People were getting killed, a lot of crazy stuff going on. And I was there. I was actually there. They had this big giant protest called, I think it was named Free HK, No China, Free Hong Kong, No China. Well, what I found out while I was there, something happened where a guy ended up killing his wife, and he fled to Taiwan. Well, China, as the main country, told Taiwan to extradite this guy to come all the way back to China and face the music, basically. Well, Hong Kong is a sovereign state of China, and they basically did not want China as a government meddling in their affairs. But China said, you know what, we're the big company, we're the government, and we're going to take over. We're going to take precedent on this. And Hong Kong as a sovereign state didn't like that, understandably. So there was a lot of pushback. China started to come in as a government into Hong Kong and do protests, or not do protests, but actually govern the sovereign state, which they shouldn't be able to. Well, the people of Hong Kong started to fight back, and they didn't like that. So when you see all of this, everybody marching in the street, these are the people of Hong Kong protesting against the big brother government of China, trying to impose their will on the sovereign state. It got a little heated and heavy, and as you can see in the video later on, they were setting fires, throwing things, and it got wild. So literally, even just walking down the street, you could see the government, the Chinese government, had SWAT teams, they had police, everybody out on the regular streets of Hong Kong, policing these people and trying to get them to disperse their protests and everything like that. This was a big situation, and little did I know I was right in the middle of it. Okay, so at this point, there were police, and I guess they were overwhelmed by the crowd, and they started backing up into the police station. And the camera guys, everybody was following them, and it just started to get crazy. People were chanting out there. Obviously, I don't know what they were saying, but they were chanting and lighting. Then it started lighting fires, and this is when it started to get ridiculous. They brought the SWAT team came back out, the firefighters came back out, and this was underneath a elevated train. They were really starting to light stuff on fire at this point. This is when it started to get bad, and the police started to come out to arrest people and really start putting people on the ground. Of course I stayed, because I'm crazy. All right, so luckily nothing happened to me that night, but I did see people getting arrested, cops doing some things they probably shouldn't be doing, and just a lot of craziness. And again, like I said, at the time, I had no idea what was going on. I was finding out as I was there. Yeah, it was a little bit scary. It was a little bit kind of crazy because obviously nobody looks like me there, and I'm just walking around, you know, trying to figure stuff out. So, hey, I was having fun, and luckily I got this footage to show you guys now. I don't know what happened of the protest. It kind of just weaned off a little bit, but I did see some other videos of other protests in the city where things really got crazy. SWAT team bombing places, and people getting hit by fire hoses, bit by dogs, all types of crazy stuff. And actually, I don't want to be political, but I understand why the people of Hong Kong were upset. It's basically your big brother imposing their will on you, which is not fair, and I get it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of search here and find out what actually happened with the protest, because I think China is supposed to take over the city of Hong Kong sooner or later. So let's find out.
Well, all right, I guess we know. It says here that China's central government will likely take additional steps in 2022 to ensure its complete control over Hong Kong.
Okay, so this is the next day. This is my part 3 in my whole video series about Hong Kong. I went to Victoria's Peak, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's a big giant peak on the top of the city. You literally can see everything. It's like a 360-degree view of the whole entire city. You can take a rail car to ride you all the way up the mountain and see the whole views of the city. So you know what I did. I went out there, took pictures, took video, and I took my drone. All right, so while I was at Victoria's Peak, like I always do, I bumped into some people and they told me where to go. One of the best places, well, they said it was one of the best places. Later on, I found out it was kind of like just a nice place to go. They had a big giant restaurant on a boat, which was actually kind of nice. And the food was kind of expensive, but it was actually pretty good. It was a place called Jumbo Kingdom. I think this was on Lantau Island. I'll make sure that and tell you guys exactly where it is right here. All right, so after the boat, you know me, you guys know what I do. I went out in the city and started exploring. So this is the Wan Chai section of the city. And I just walking around, just finding stuff to get into. All right, so after running around in Wan Chai, I remember this place. We went to this Vitality Park, and it was just like an outdoor boardwalk area, people walking their dogs. They had side performers performing out there, people doing backflips, singing. This one guy was on a tightrope, walking a tightrope, which was pretty cool. And this was just like a real nice area to go to, and it was like pretty warm, I remember, and everybody was just in shorts and a t-shirt, just wanting to get on a big Ferris wheel. That was like the big attraction there, and it was super, super dope. So if you ever go to Hong Kong, make sure to go to, I think it's called AIA Vitality Park. All right, this is pretty funny. After the park, I think it was in Victoria Harbor, we took like a taxi to one of these little streets in Wan Chai that was just a bunch of bars and restaurants and stuff like that, and people were getting super drunk and partying. It was a great time. I actually met some friends out there, which I still keep in contact to this day. It was really, really fun. Okay, so let's jump into part 4 of my Hong Kong trip. All right, so obviously this was my first time in Hong Kong, and I had to do some of the touristy things. I went to this place called Lantau Island to go see the Big Buddha, one of the biggest statues, I guess, in the whole country. So we took these cable cars to get over there, and once we got over there, you could see this thing was massive, and there was a lot of people there too. So if you guys are gonna go there, I guess you can go at any time of the day, but it was still, really, really crowded once we got there. All right, so finally, once we got there, actually walked up through the entrance and actually got to the Big Buddha statue. We had to walk up all of these steps. I can't remember how much it was, but it was over 100, maybe 200 steps to get up to this Big Buddha. And, people are watching, but sometimes I don't care. I brought my drone and I had to get out there and get me a couple shots. So I'm gonna hit you with some of these now. Okay, after leaving Lantau Island, going back into the city, of course the protest was still going. It was going on for a long time, actually the whole entire time that I was there. I started walking around and you could see people out there protesting, lighting candles, showing their support for the whole cause. The SWAT team's still out there the whole entire time. And man, even though it was a great time, I hate to run into stuff like this because, number one, I don't know if I'm in danger. And number two, just the cause, I felt for it and I got to understand. But overall, it was a great time there. Hong Kong is actually on my very short list of cities that I would like to move to once it's all said and done and I get to retire. Hopefully, I can one day and actually have the chance to pick one of these cities to actually move to and do it. That's the key, actually doing it. All right, so to wrap this whole recap up, we're gonna give Hong Kong a Tony score. All right, so giving Hong Kong a Tony score, let's start with would I come back here? I'm gonna go ahead and give that an easy 7 because yes, I had fun there. It was a great place. 100% I would definitely go back to Hong Kong. Would I actually live here? I would actually say yes. So I'm gonna give that, let's go ahead and give it a 6 because it's not on the top of my list, but it's not at the bottom either. So yeah, I think I would actually live there. I know it's gonna have its bad things just like every city, but it also has great things to offer. It's a huge city, first world problems, you know, so I definitely would go there. So the next thing is, let's do plenty of things to do. I'm gonna give that a 7. Yeah, because I never had a shortage of things to do. I never had a shortage of ideas. Anytime I Googled what's to do in Hong Kong, there was always something for me to do, always something for me to see. I like this place, I really do. The food, again, I'm gonna go, let's just say 5. They had some American food places there, but I tried to shy away from them. I wanted to go everything Chinese, everything Hong Kong. I did authentic ramen. You know, I went to all the different places to get anything Hong Kong related or China related while I was there on my trip, and they did not disappoint. The people, I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 6 too, because everybody was nice. A lot of people spoke English, so I didn't have trouble moving around at all. Even if they didn't speak English, the little bit that they can pronounce and talk to me in was good enough that I could communicate and get where I needed to go. So yeah, they're a solid 6. I might even make them a 7. So now, next, the cost to get there. Well, you guys can imagine, I was coming from the East Coast of the United States and going all the way back across. So yeah, it was pretty expensive. I don't remember how much it cost to get there, but I remember it was like over $1,000. I don't think it was quite 2,000, but it was really, really close. So it was really, really expensive to get to Hong Kong, depending on where you're coming from. Let's give that a 7. And lastly, the cost of things while you were there. Think first world, think America. So things, if you live in the United States in any big city, the prices aren't going to scare you. They're pretty consistent. You know, you could get a meal for, you know, $15 or whatever it is. I forget how much it is in Hong Kong money, but it wasn't nothing crazy. It was really, really reasonable. So yeah, on an overall, I'm going to give Hong Kong 2 thumbs up, and I would definitely go back there. Hey, you know what? We're going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching this recap of where I used to go. Hong Kong, one of the places that is on my list to go back, to move, everything. So, hey, if you guys want to see more of me doing this, recapping places that I've been to, giving you more and more information about places that you might want to end up, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, all of that stuff. Thank you guys for watching Tony versus the World, and we are